Good evening and welcome to our next edition of Cooking with Michael.
And Candace.
And Candace, again, she's here.
And again, I still haven't killed her.
I'm still alive. It's actually pretty kind of cool. It's pretty kind of cool. First day with your English?
That's okay.
Well, actually, last week was your English lesson. Yeah.
You're alive. Just be thankful.
Yes.
Language proficiency is not necessary. Especially
in this show, as we found out.
And at our age.
That too. Ready? Facts. All right, so thank you all who watched last week and who have been watching. We did pick up some new subscribers. We got a lot of views, especially our folks from Florida. Thank you for having a sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
He
was not kidding when he said he couldn't talk.
Thank you for having a sense of humor, my friends in Florida. And for those of you who I didn't mention in Florida, you know you bitch about the fact that 60 degrees is cold too. So anyway, we're back. So tonight, it's going to be a little bit different. We talked about this a little bit last week.
Breakfast food.
It's breakfast food. And we'll get to why it's breakfast food in a minute. But we have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
I have to get my biography out. Okay, because I make sure I get this right. But you may have seen him. He was on Purim and Passover Cooking Hour. He was on the Hebrew Homemade Beer Show. And most recently, he was on the Yarmulke Fashion Show on the catwalk sporting just yarmulkes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Big Josh. Come on in, Josh. Woo! All right, this is Josh. Josh is actually, he doesn't cook professionally like the rest of us, but he does do a lot of cooking as well as barbecuing and smoking. His smoked everything, and I'm not talking about that kind of smoking. His smoked everything is really good. Like you smoked pork, and you did. I wanted to do some videos with that because it's really good.
Yeah, let's do.
Worst case scenario, with the wrong season though.
Yeah.
No, it's never too cold to grow.
Okay.
Just weak people.
Like people from Florida?
Oh! All right, Melissa, Dr. Amy, Heather, Sarah, and all the rest of you, we do apologize. Remember, Candace at cookingwithmichael.us. Email her. Okay, so tonight, as I said, we're going to do a breakfast. Why we're doing breakfast? Well, this week was Thanksgiving. So you spent hours in the kitchen or hours watching somebody else in the kitchen, making a turkey, making all the stuff that goes with it, okay? And so we decided,
And you've got the leftovers from Thanksgiving. Yeah. Even if you're not the one that cooked, you show up at the Thanksgiving venue and everybody sends you home with 5-gallon buckets of leftovers. So you've been eating Thanksgiving leftovers and you're kind of done with that. You want something else. So.
Right. So, yeah, exactly. You need those.
Exactly.
Ooh. All right, so what we decided, we thought we would do a breakfast dish. It's a breakfast dish that you could actually have for dinner, okay? So it makes a good date night dinner. But if your date night goes well and you make something else, this could be for a great date night breakfast or a date morning breakfast. That's right.
You see the wife rolling her eyes.
She's rolling her eyes. Because again, after 11 years of marriage, there is no date morning breakfast. There's get the hell out of bed and feed the children. I'm tired.
I feed the children.
I
feed the dog.
She's the one saying it.
I'm the cats.
I'm the one complaining about being tired. It's facts.
Okay.
Straight up facts. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get started. But before we do that, there's no Pinot Grigio. There's no Sauvignon Blanc.
Peanut.
So, but we did have to, as always, thank you, Andrew Chapel Beer and Wine. We decided to make mimosas because it's breakfast, right? So we got ourselves some sparkling wine. It's not actually champagne because it's not from the Champagne region of France. This is from California. So, Melissa, this one's for you. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to make little mimosas, but it's different. We're calling them Mike-Mosas because it's not exactly the mimosa recipe. Now, if there's actually a recipe of what I make, and it actually has a name. Those of you who are bartenders who watch the show, first of all, thank you. Tell me what the hell it is. So basically a mimosa, as you know, is basically 1 part champagne, 1 part orange juice, and you obviously want to make sure it's chilled. But I'm going to do a little bit different. So a little champagne, sparkling wine.
Spumante. Spumante.
Which is Italian for cheap champagne. So put a little bit of that in there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a Maraschino Cherry. And I'm going to put a Maraschino Cherry in there. And a little bit of the juice. Just a little bit of juice. Okay? And that is going to be our Mike-Mosa. So you can even take, if you'd like, you can even kind of stir it up a little bit. All right. And it's a Mike-Mosa.
Looks like Sunny D.
And because he's a lightweight, and there's carbonation with the alcohol, he's now officially drunk.
Facts. All right, so let's go ahead and make the Mike-Mosas for everybody else.
That is so sweet. Yum. Diabetic coma.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that Josh is diabetic, so
Hey!
everything we're doing today is probably going to send him to the hospital.
Sorry, I got
You
my
could be
blood drop.
stabbing him with insulin needles later.
But you
Just
know
for
what?
funsies.
But you're not. All right, thank you very much.
Clink!
All right, clink. All right, now, as the guest host, or as the guest chef, or the guest guy is going to watch, we're going to give him to wear the Fuck That's Hot Cooking with Michael apron, which, by the way, is available on our website at cookingwithmichael.us.
Yes, it is.
It is an honor and a privilege. All right, thank you.
Candace, you get the old one. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. This is actually a pretty easy recipe. We're going to take, basically, toast. Well, not really toast, it's bread because it hasn't been toasted yet. But you want the thick cut.
That is thick. Bread.
That's what she said.
Cut. Bread. That's what I meant.
See how thick that is? And if you're on our OnlyFans page, it's a different kind
Oh
of
my
thing.
god!
So,
Gibbs whack.
Is that show still on the air?
take a little bit of butter. And you want to butter, basically, butter your thick buns. No,
It's not a bun.
butter your thick bread.
You could say buns if it were a bun, but it's not.
I don't know, it's brioche. Brioche is usually in the shape of buns.
That is true.
But this isn't the bun. You're wrong.
And this is going to happen throughout the episode. Anyway, take it just like that, buttered. Put the butter side down. Now the fun part begins. First of all, I got to drink a little more of my Mike-Mosa.
I think my drinking game is going to be every time you drink, I drink.
You take the second piece of thick bread. You can use Texas toast, sourdough. This happens to be brioche. And I'm going to tell you why we got brioche. Because it had it. Just like, why do we use
That was
organic?
the only thing that had the thick slices that you were looking for.
Say it again. Slowly.
It's the only thing that had the wide slices that he was looking for.
That's still hot. Okay. So anyway.
It's in the delivery.
So you take this, you take the second piece of bread. Again, you can see how thick it is. You can use a biscuit cutter if you have one. We don't. So basically, I'm just going to reach in and pull the center out.
Tear it out with your hands.
That's right.
Do these get used later?
No, you can eat it. And if it didn't...
Oh!
More
It is?
simple sugar.
I
More
like it.
simple sugar.
Right, right.
So now what you got is you've got...
Was never heard from again.
So the hospital is across the street.
It is. I love the figure.
It's literally within walking distance. We've talked about that before with our accident proneness.
Facts. All right, you can see, got the nice center in it. You take this. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Josh singing in the background.
No, he was talking to his game.
All right. Okay. Take one egg. You got to crack the egg. Try not... You're really enjoying it, Mike-Mosa.
I am. I don't have that much sugar usually.
Thank you for Vanna-ing it for us.
You're welcome.
That was pretty
You
good.
said I'd be remodeled. Okay.
This is what it looks like
Oh god.
on a Jew. Oh, sorry. Okay.
You mean on a good one.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. On a good Jew.
I do not claim to be a good Jew.
You're better than he is.
That's true. You guys...
Not hard. Not.
Michael is only in it for the jokes.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right. You take the... This is happening. You take the egg.
It's also true.
It really is. And basically all you're going to do is you're just going to crack it. Try not to break the yolk and try not to get the shells in there. And you pour the egg right into the center, okay?
Beautiful.
Then what we do is we take a little bit, we use plum tomatoes, okay? Plum tomatoes that we cut up and we diced. Why? Because they're a little bit tastier.
What's the difference between a plum and a Roma tomato?
He doesn't know. I don't think I know either.
I don't think I know either.
I think I've always
www.
used the terms interchangeably.
Huh, maybe the other same. I'm Googling this, but you...
He's going to Google it while we do it. Anyway, so you take the tomato, put some tomato right inside there. Then you take We use Canadian bacon. How do you know it's Canadian?
Eh?
Exactly. And she picked right up on that. That was awesome. That was the joke I was going for. All right.
You doubted me?
No, we've been doing this long enough now. I'm loving it. I love that it's Cooking with Michael.
You were actually right about Roma.
According to my research,
They come from Italian tomatoes from originally Rome.
I said Romania, but I'll take that.
Oh, yeah. Too much credit.
Yeah, it was too many. Yeah. So anyway, you can use ham as long as it's diced. That's fine. Canadian bacon, it's all the same thing in my mind. Just again, one says. There you go. All right, put it on there.
Canadian bacon is what the rest of the world thinks bacon is.
Really?
Like, in my time in Japan, everywhere I've ever been, as an American, don't trust bacon in other countries. It's not going to be what we usually think of as bacon. I'm not saying it can't be good. It can definitely be good. It's just not really the same.
It's not what you were expecting.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's more likely going to be closer to Canadian bacon consistency, a little bit less fatty, and just a different.
Huh.
Did not know that. Well, see,
I guess it's like the difference between fries here in the States and then over in the UK.
yeah, because they're the steak thick cut ones over there.
Yeah.
Just depends, yeah. Food culture is so cool.
And well, what we would call fries, they call chips.
Yes.
And what we call chips, they would call crisps.
Yes.
So it's that kind of thing.
And to them, we have it so wrong. To them, we are so incorrect.
I don't know. Who has more fat people?
Yeah, comment below.
Who's got food right? You measure it by how many fat people are in that country, and we have way more fat people than they do.
I always think about like hyper-local food culture, like Florida. We have Florida people around here. Like, how is Florida food culture different than Maryland food culture? Like, they're very different things.
They are sadly absent of Old Bay.
Yeah.
All right, so cheese, shredded cheese. We're gonna use the Mexican cheese. All right, so take a little bit of cheese.
What happened to the cheese?
You put it, sprinkle
The
the cheese
cheese
on.
was fine. It was consumed and it was quite good.
All right, put them on top, and that's what it looks like. We're gonna do this 3 more times, make 4 of them, and then we'll put them in the oven.
Can I have the butt? Will you put a hole in it for me?
That's between you and Sarah. If she's okay with it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the bread.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make 3 more of these, and we'll be right back.
Are we gonna have?
We're gonna use the butts.
I want the butt.
All right,
you could
go ahead.
probably just use this one piece.
Yeah, and just pick
And
out
just-
part of the thing. Yeah.
All right, well, make sure you butter it.
Will you please butter the butt? I'd like your help buttering the butt.
It needs lube.
If we're gonna get through this,
If it's gonna be fun,
gonna
it
need
has to
some-
have lube.
it's gonna need some lube. We do not.
Somebody had to say it.
We do not
I love
recommend
this.
butter
But sometimes
for
you gotta use
general
what you use.
lubrication.
But sometimes you just gotta run with it. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all 4 on there. Okay, that's what it looks like. I don't want to tip it too much because then the eggs and everything will flop, go flying.
Spill.
Spill. That's a good word too. I'm gonna
You're
go ahead.
not actually gonna go.
How'd they come?
They're not gonna sprout
Would you
wings.
quit playing with the?
It's like I'm about to come out.
Would you quit playing with the shit? Could you jump it out? All right, you can go back to Purim and Passover. All right, so what we're gonna do, the Purim and Passover cooking show. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna put it in the oven. Preheated oven has been preheated to 375 already. Put it in there for 15 minutes, and
Don't walk away.
don't walk away because eggs set quickly. Okay, so let me put that in here first. Okay. Oh, sorry. So the eggs do set quickly. Every oven, even though it says 375, it might be a little bit hotter, a little bit cooler, whatever. So keep an eye on it. Do not walk away.
I was the first one to say it. You don't need to drill it into me. If I haven't learned it yet, I'm not going to.
True story.
All he heard was drill it into me.
Oh.
We already buttered the butt. Anyway, so we're gonna let that cook. The idea of the recipe is really to have the eggs a little bit runny. I try and make them so they're fully hard.
Fully cooked.
The worm.
I may just leave the boys alone.
No, please don't.
No. Anyway, so
No.
we'll let that cook for 15 minutes. We'll drink some Mike-Mosas, and we'll be back in just a moment. We'll see you back here when it's done. One thing I did forget to ask, and she pointed out on the break that I forgot to ask, what the fuck is a maraschino cherry?
According to my research,
A
maraschino cherry is a regular cherry soaked in sugar, packed in syrup, and dyed red.
Ladies and gentlemen, Magic School Bus.
I even look kind of like her.
She does actually.
Hold on. Okay, there we go. 2 pigtails.
There we go. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to check it, and it looks like it's almost done, to be honest with you. Okay. Well, no, really, what's
The eggs are still sloshing around.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. So the eggs are still sloshing around, you can see. So we're going to put it back in and let it go for another 5 minutes.
What if you picked it up to like broil? Flash the top of them. I don't know.
I'm afraid that if you do that, you take a chance of burning parts of it, and the eggs that's in the center aren't going to get that because they're covered with the cheese, the tomatoes, and a Canadian bacon egg.
Yeah, I think we'd end up with burnt toast and burnt cheese.
Right. So for anybody who makes it at home, I'd be curious what would happen if you baked it first without the cheese.
Ooh.
And for like the 10 minutes, then
put the cheese on.
Cheese, kick it to broil, 5 more minutes.
And that's the good thing about cooking is we've made these before, and they've always turned out well. But
they're gonna be delicious no matter what.
No. But I mean, that's the great thing about cooking is because there's a 10-minute. Again, we said this before. You can go to 10 different restaurants, order the exact same thing off the menu, and it's cooked 10 different ways.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what Purim and Passover cooking guy just said. I'm not even sure how to continue with this at the moment. So anyway, this is oh fuck it. This is now going to hell. This is why cooking is so good because you can do it 10 different ways, and we can also call blow-up dolls apparently. My kid's in the background going, "What's a blow-up doll?"
It's a doll that blows up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's really not.
It's pretty basic.
Doesn't sound. That is the thing that doesn't sound wrong, but is. It's like
Just checking.
the anti
Yeah.
joke. It's.
So this will be done in about a minute, and thank God this show will come to an end. We will be going on location to Heberland.
I do get forgotten a lot.
We're going to Israel.
Close. Israel liked your house. So we can you can smoke.
No!
You can do the smoker and because you have the grill and the smoker.
Oh God.
All right. So this is almost done. We'll pull it out. We'll test it, taste it. We pull over my official tasting plate. We'll have our guest here test it first. I'm very excited. Tell us what he thinks.
Who else here knew these growing up as eggs in the nest? Did you ever?
I didn't know.
My mother never made anything that complicated.
Okay, so we'll talk about a million different ways to do things, right?
Okay.
My mom's method was very, very simple. It was a pan on the stove top, and you took the same process. Butter one slice of bread, slap it down into the pan, crack an egg in the middle of the hole, and then the egg kind of cooks on the bottom, and then you flip it. And ooh! But this is
what they look like. And it's hot, so I'll put it down, but that's what they look like. Okay. So
that's when you say fuck. That's how.
Fuck the what? Yeah.
He's already said it enough. He doesn't need to say it anymore.
So we'll take one out.
I just want to know what happened to this.
They cooked. Okay. All right. Josh?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thank you. Here, wait, can I have a knife? I want to get the audience a nice cross section as it opens up and gooey.
Like civilized people.
Ready? All right. So if we get this right, okay. Here we go. Yoink.
What are you from Scooby-Doo?
No, hold on. Yoink. And then 3, 2, 1. Oh. Go. Ooh. Gooey. Oh goodness.
He's gonna replace me as Vanna.
Vanna?
Nobody can replace you as Vanna.
Who's Vanna?
Vanna
Vanna
White.
White. You've ever heard of her?
No. And this is why I
Oh my god, I feel so old.
No, I don't understand any pop
Wait a
culture
second.
references.
Wait a second. It's
Wheel
from
of
Wheel of
Fortune.
Fortune?
Oh,
She was
Okay.
the lady that turned the letters and showcased the things, and she did this a lot.
I don't know any pop culture references is the thing.
Okay, let's be very clear.
Each-
This will be the last time Josh is on
Oh,
until he learns things that go on in America.
America!
Fuck yeah. Oh, sorry.
What is that from again?
Team America World Police.
And that's why the video got pulled. And
All right. So that's it.
oh my god, that's really good.
So that's it. It's fantastic. Quick, easy. Date morning breakfast.
Impressive looking.
Impressive looking. It's a great conversation. He's just like, my
I'm
God,
just eating it.
you are like Vanna. I mean, Candace. You're just going to eat the whole damn thing.
You had sushi for lunch. I forgot to eat.
I did have sushi. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we did.
It was good. We didn't make it, though.
Oh no, we were definitely
Never making sushi.
not able to do that. Hot? So good, it's exciting?
No, he can make sushi.
Can we make sushi? Can
Sure.
we make sushi?
Not now.
No.
Okay. So anyway, so you can see the nice date morning breakfast for when you have a really good date night, or a nice date night if she doesn't want to spend the night with you. But it's a good conversation starter. It's a great quick meal. It takes the longest is 15 minutes in the oven to cook. But just egg, thick toast, Canadian bacon,
Egg.
tomatoes, cheese, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoy it. As we said, Josh, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you guys.
We look forward to seeing you next week, as always. Check out our website, cookingwithmichael.us. Got a whole bunch of merchandise up there. It is the holiday season, so it is time to buy some stuff. There are links up there to email, to buy, and we'll send you a PayPal link and all that fun stuff. So, see you next week, 8 p.m. Saturday. All right, so hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
No, it's not going to be that inappropriate. Theoretically. He sings show tunes by himself.
I do.
Anyway,
And he has a wife.
I do.
A real one. Not a blow doll.
so we digress.
The Vanity Show with Michael and Josh.
God! You picked his nose!
Gonna wash my hand out.
Just COVID alarms everywhere. Everybody at home just like.
Fauci just had a stroke.